Okay, good morning, everyone. Starting the session. I try through the calendar and also start the call, but now I'm trying another time just in case. And if you're not here, at least the class is going to be recorded. This is June the 26th. It's Friday class, very early in the morning, and I'm going to share with you website, which is called elo.org. I'm sure many of you might be a bit familiar with it. And I want you to listen to the following dialogue, at least the first passages. Here we go. Let me confirm that I'm sharing.
Morning, teacher.
Morning, Elizabeth. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm all right. A bit coldish. It's somewhat cold in here. How about yourself?
Yes, here too.
So what are you doing to deal with it?
I'm with stufa. I don't know how to say.
Okay, like sort of a heater.
Yes. um,
All right. I had a coffee and I also turn on the heater because I have people that get up very early in the morning. So since I wake up and get up earlier, I sort of turn on everything that we have, so that the house is not so cold when the rest gets up. So that's pretty much every day.
yes.
Yeah. So Claudia's here. I think Valentina is also here. Good morning to both of you. I'm trying to reach Mirai. I don't know if I'm lucky starting the session through the calendar or just making a phone call regularly. I think I'm sharing, but I'm not sure. Let me double check.
No, you're not sure.
I'm not sharing anything. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So now I'm trying to share a website called elo.org.
Yes, now I can see.
Okay. Can you listen now? I'm going to play the video.
So we're talking about going
Yes.
local as we're in a different country.
Excellent. So let me go from the very beginning. Have we watched, have we listened to this audio before? Let me play it again.
I don't remember.
So we're talking about
Do it.
Maybe not.
Maybe not? Okay.
going local as we're in a different country. How much of the local culture do you absorb? How much like local? Because we both live in Japan, right?
Yes.
How much in percentage, for example? How much Japanese food would you say you eat?
Oh, I would say like probably 80% of
That's
my
a lot.
food is Japanese food. Yeah, I like it because most of it is healthy and it's actually what I can get in the cafeteria at work. So yeah,
It's convenient.
it's convenient. What about you?
I mostly make my own food, and Japanese food is really difficult to make, I think. I'm really challenged when it comes to cooking anyway. I'm really bad at cooking. And to have to try and learn a new style of cooking is just too much for me. I'm really lazy. So I would probably say if I'm cooking food myself, I never cook Japanese food. 0% of the time. I never. But if I go to a restaurant, then sure I can eat some Japanese food sometimes.
I sometimes watch the TV and learn how to cook Japanese food. There are some easy recipes. Do you ever watch the Japanese television? There's
I
tons of
try, but yeah, like you said, it's a lot of cooking programs.
there's a lot of that was what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Tons of cooking TV shows, programs.
Yeah, and I watch cooking programs and I just get angry that I can't cook. I can't do it like that, so I just get frustrated, so I stop watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
What about other kinds of shows? So like not just cooking shows.
Well, they have. I guess they have pretty funny shows, but I don't understand what they're saying. But I try to follow them, and yeah, sometimes they're very interesting. They also talk about clothing season was trending in Japan, what young people are doing. They have some interviews sometimes, very
Yeah.
interesting interviews, and they're always teaching you something. So it's something that I like about Japanese TV. You're always learning something
Yeah.
from other countries as well.
That's true. So how about like your friendship circles? How much percentage of your friends would you say are Japanese versus international?
Oh, I would say probably 40% are Japanese. Yeah, the rest of them are international people because I work with international people, so I spend most of the time with them.
And when you're with your Japanese friends, do you speak mostly in English or mostly in Japanese?
Oh, I would say like probably 70% Japanese and the rest would be English because normally when they know a second language is English, not Spanish. So I like 0% Spanish
Oh wow.
with Japanese, but yeah, like I would say 70% of the conversation is in Japanese also because I want to practice my Japanese.
Right.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, I'd say out of my friends, recently I've had like no time to socialize. So probably about 30% of my friends are Japanese. But when I speak with them, it's mostly in Japanese. I don't like speaking in English.
Oh.
It's just like probably for the same reasons as you. Like I want to practice my Japanese.
But I will say that from my Japanese friends, like most of them, probably like 80% of them always want to speak in English because
Right?
they want to practice
Yeah.
English too. So it's like a give and take. Like we speak a little bit in Japanese, but sometimes we speak more in English.
Yeah.
It depends also the topic and what you're talking about.
If it's a topic you can talk about, then yeah, go for it in Japanese. But if it's a
Yes.
difficult topic,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Alrighty. So that's the dialogue. What's the conversation about? What do you think? What's the main topic of the conversation that these two people are having? Any idea?
Maybe about two different language and a bit of culture, like the cook.
Right? Okay. Let's take a look at this is script. Okay. And at this moment, there are five students in the room. Claudia Morales, Elizabeth Mejias, Fernando Ramirez, Nelson Parrao, Valentina Negrete. So the idea is that you're going to take turns reading this as a group, okay? Because it's a small group, so I think we can do that. Do you want to listen to the dialogue again, this time listening and at the same time reading the script?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to try. Anyway, this is I'm going to copy and paste the website in the chat, okay? Just in case, anything happens. I mean, internet connection issues, whatever. So or if you can practice this later. And so far we have 4 students, Elizabeth, Fernando, Nelson, and Valentina. Okay, so 4 and not 5, as I said before, Claudia left. Okay, so we're going to listen to the dialogue and I'm going to be scrolling down, okay? And if you want to do this individually, you can copy and paste the website link that I shared in the chat room. but anytime. Anyway, here we go.
So we're talking about going local as we're in a different country. How much of the local culture do you absorb? How much like local, because we both live in Japan, right?
Yes.
How much in percentage, for example? How much Japanese food would you say you eat?
Oh, I would say like probably 80% of
That's
my
a lot.
food is Japanese food. Yeah, I like it because most of it is healthy and it's actually what I can get in the cafeteria at work. So, yeah,
It's convenient.
it's convenient. What about you?
I mostly make my own food,
Mm-hmm.
and Japanese food is really difficult to make, I think. I'm really challenged when it comes to cooking anyway. I'm really bad at cooking. And to have to try and learn a new style of cooking is just too much for me. I'm really lazy. So I would probably say if I'm cooking food myself, I never cook Japanese food. 0% of the time. I never. But if I go to a restaurant, then sure I can eat some Japanese food sometimes.
I sometimes watch the TV and learn how to cook Japanese food. There are some easy recipes. Do you ever watch the Japanese television?
Uh,
There's
I
tons of
try, but yeah, like you said, it's a lot of cooking
there's
programs.
a lot of that was what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Tons of cooking TV shows programs.
Yeah, and I watch cooking programs and I just get angry that I can't cook. I can't do it like that, so I just get frustrated, so I stop watching.
No,
Yeah.
I see.
What about other kinds of shows? So like not just cooking shows.
Well, they have. I guess they have pretty funny shows, but I don't understand what they're saying. But I try to follow them, and yeah, sometimes they're very interesting. They also talk about clothing season, what's trending in Japan, what young people are doing. They have some interviews sometimes, very interesting interviews, and they're always teaching you something. So it's something that I like about Japanese TV. You're always learning something from other countries as well.
That's true. So how about like your friendship circles? How much percentage of your friends would you say are Japanese versus international?
Oh, I would say probably 40% are Japanese. Yeah, the rest of them are international people because I work with international people, so I spend most of the time with them.
And when you're with your Japanese friends, do you speak mostly in English or mostly in Japanese?
Oh, I would say like probably 70% Japanese and the rest would be English because normally when they know a second language is English, not Spanish. So I like 0% Spanish with Japanese. But yeah, like I would say 70% of the conversation is in Japanese also because I want to practice my Japanese.
Right.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, I'd say out of my friends, recently I've had like no time to socialize. So probably about 30% of my friends are Japanese. But when I speak with them, it's mostly in Japanese. I don't like speaking in English.
Oh.
It's just like probably for the same reasons as you. Like I want to practice my Japanese.
But I will say that from my Japanese friends, like most of them, probably like 80% of them always want to speak in English because they want to practice English too. So it's like a give and take. Like we speak a little bit in Japanese, but sometimes we speak more in English.
Yeah.
It depends also the topic and what you're talking about.
If it's a topic you can talk about, then yeah, go for it in Japanese. But if it's a difficult topic.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right, that was the conversation, right? And so far we have in the room Elizabeth, Fernando, Nelson, and Valentina. I think I'm not skipping anyone. If anyone is in here and I didn't mention your name, please let me know right now. So, Elizabeth, Fernando, Nelson, and Valentina, we're going to take turns in that order, okay? First Elizabeth, then Fernando, then Nelson, and then Valentina. And we're going to read this in a group, okay? It's going to be a group reading aloud activity. So, if you don't have, do you have access to this in your computer or cell phones? I mean, I don't mind sharing. We can you know do it here, but you can also do it in your laptops, computers, tablets, cell phones, any electronic device you're using, right? So this is going to be, some sections are going to be longer, right? Some sections are going to be shorter. We're going to try to compensate that. So let me remind you the order, just like you are in the room. Elizabeth, then Fernando, then Nelson, and then Valentina. And then again, Elizabeth, Fernando, Nelson, and Valentina. Elizabeth, Fernando, Nelson, and Valentina. Okay, so here we go. Elizabeth, your turn, please.
Okay. So we're talking about going locals as we're in different country. How much of the local culture do you absorb? How much like local? Because we both live in Japan, Japan, right?
Yes, Japan.
How much in percentage, for example, how much Japanese food would you say you eat?
Oh, I will say probably like 80% of my food is Japanese food. Yeah, I like it because more of it is healthy and it's actually like what I can get in the cafeteria at work. So, I mean, that's convenient. It's convenient. What about you?
It's my turn, right?
Sorry, yes, please.
Okay.
This highlighted section, please.
Uh, okay. I must make my own food, and Japanese food it's really difficult to make, I think. I'm really challenged with when it comes to cooking away. I'm really bad at cooking, and to have to try to learn a new style of cooking is just too much for me. I'm really lazy, so I will probably say if I'm cooking food myself, I never cook Japanese food. 0% of the time I never, but if I go to a restaurant, then sure, I can eat Japanese food sometimes.
Please.
Okay.
Mhm.
I sometimes watch the TV and learn how to cook Japanese food. There's some easy recipes. Do you ever watch that Japanese television? I try, but like you said, there's a lot of cooking programs. That's what I was about to say. There's tons of cooking TV shows, programs. And I watch cooking programs and I just get angry that I can't cook. I can't do it like that, so I get frustrated. So I stop watching.
Thank you. Okay, it says Elizabeth's turn.
Okay. Yeah, I see. What about other kinds of shows, like not just cooking shows? Well, I guess they have pretty funny shows, but I don't understand what they're saying. But I try to follow them, and yeah, sometimes they are very interesting. I'm sorry, it's passing a motorcycle outside.
That's right.
They also talk about the clothing seasons, what's trending in Japan, what young people will do, and they have some interviews sometimes, and they always teaching you something. So that's something that I like about Japanese TV. You always learn something from other countries as well. That's true.
I guess it's
Yeah,
Fernando's turn, is it? Okay.
yeah. That's true. So how you no? So how about your friend circle? How much percent of your friends will you say are Japanese versus international? Oh, I will say probably 40% are Japanese. Yeah, the rest of the 10 are international people because I work in with international people. so I spend most of the time with them. And and when you're with your Japanese friends, so you speak mostly in English or mostly in Japanese?
Okay. Oh, I will say like probably 70% Japanese and the rest will be English because normally when they know a second language, it's English, not Spanish. So I like 30% Spanish, a lot of Japanese, but yeah, like I will say 70% of the conversation in Japanese also because I want to practice my Japanese. Right? What about you?
Um, well, Valentina, and I think Diana joined us, so I guess Diana could read the last section. So, Valentina, can you go on now for this one?
Okay. Okay. Well, I will say out of my friends recently I've had like no time to socialize. So probably like 30% of my friends are Japanese. But when I speak with them, it's mostly in Japanese. I don't like speaking in English. For me, for the same reason as you, like I want to practice my Japanese.
Thank you. And Diana, could you finish up with the dialogue, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
But I will say that from my Japanese friends, like most of them, probably like 80% of them always want to speak in English because they want to practice English too. So it's like a give and take. Like we speak a little bit in Japanese, but sometimes we speak more in English. It depends also the topic and what you're talking about. If it's a topic you can talk about, then yeah, go for it, Japanese in Japanese. But if it's a difficult topic, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. Diana, were you able to listen to the dialogue before?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. Do you have any questions about any of the words mentioned in the dialogue? Anything that was not clear?
With the word Japanese, no, Japan. I don't know how correctly say it.
Okay. Right. Let me show you. Sorry. I'm going to share another tool. Okay. Let me stop sharing the website and start sharing this software. I think is this one. No, this one. Okay. What I'm showing you is a software called Photrans Edit. I'm going to write it right there. Photrans Edit. It's an online resource, but you can also download it in your computers. And it's software that helps you to transcribe using phonetic symbols. So you can copy and paste in plain English, and then you get the phonetic transcription in General American, or also you can get it in received pronunciation. So in this case, I have these words. What do you think is the first one? Let's give it a number. Okay, what do you think it's number one?
Percent.
Percent, right? Percent, the word stress is in the second syllable, percent. And this dot here, or period, indicates the division of syllables. This is the first syllable, and this is the second syllable, right? And this diacritic mark shows the word stress, meaning is percent and not percent, okay? Percent. This sign or this mark shows the word stress. So what do you think is the second one?
Cafeteria.
Perfect. Area, right? Cafeteria. Interesting word. Some people say cafeteria, so they get rid of the diphthong and they just keep the monophthong, short, lax e, right? But some people say cafeteria. They get two diphthongs here. What about that? Cafeteria, okay? So take your time when you're pronouncing this word. It's really long to pronounce it. What do you think about number 3? Which is the word? Perfect. Food. Food is what you eat. The part of your body that's very similar is that one. And the difference is that it has a short lax u, right? Foot. But the other one is food, right? So you need to make the difference. Food, foot, food, right? Very clear when you're talking about what you put in your mouth, okay? Number 4, what do you think is this word?
It's like young.
Young, okay? Young, good job. Number 5, what do you
Japan.
think? Perfect. Japan. So we get j, which is an affricate sound, right? J, one of the 2 affricate sounds in English. Then we have schwa, very, very lax and neutral. J. And then we have the second syllable stressed, right? Pan. We have a trap here. Japan, right? Japan. And number 6, I don't.
Japanese.
Perfect. A trap here in the first syllable, right? Ja, p, neutral, schwa, knees. The word stress falls into the last syllable, right? Knees. And then we have a voiced z, Japanese. Okay, Japanese. They are Japanese. This word may have different word stress depending on which position it is. They are Japanese, or I have some Japanese friends, but we're not going to talk about that now, okay? But in general, if this word is, isolated, individual in a dictionary, it's Japanese, okay? Japanese. And finally, what do you think it's number 7?
Conversation.
Perfect. So for the pronunciation of this word, conver, some people add rhoticity here. You get an right? Conversation. And if you look at this, right? This final sound here, it's not just a plain like this, right? But it's one that has a very small dot at the bottom, right? So whenever you see this dot at the bottom, it means that that consonant is syllabic. Okay, syllabic. If you remember, all the syllables contain one vowel sound. For example, con, that's a vowel sound. The, that's the vowel sound. Seish, that's the, vowel sound, the diphthong A. And this syllable, right, if you remember that this period or dot is showing that this is a one syllable, does not have a vowel sound, but it actually does. The vowel sound should be schwa, by the way. So we can say conversation with the schwa. And if we do that, we get rid of the syllabic consonant. But if we don't have the schwa, we have to add this dot at the bottom. Some speakers go from sh to n without a schwa here. Shin, conversation. Okay, that's just for you to understand why this n is not like this one, but it has a very different dot at the bottom. Okay, this is what we call syllabic consonant, and it means that this consonant is acting as consonant plus vowel. It's a little bit complex, but I just want you to understand that this is called syllabic consonant when it has this dot, and it's sort of replacing, or there should be a schwa before. Okay. Now, let me go back to the. I have a presentation here, a PowerPoint presentation that I'm trying to share with you. Let me. So what I'm trying to share with you is a PowerPoint presentation. Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let me see if anyone joined the group. Okay, Diana, since you were the last one to arrive, could you read the paragraph, please?
Okay.
Thanks.
So we're talking about going local as we're in a different country. How much of the local culture do you absorb? How much like local? Because we both live in Japan, right? How much in percentage? For example, how much Japanese food would you say you eat?
Thank you. How much in percentage, for example, how much Japanese food would you say you eat? Okay, so we're going to work on this section. I'm going to ask you some questions. Please, any of you can answer, all right? This is the questions are going to be very open for anyone. At some point, I'm going to address the questions to some of you, and we're going to work with this passage. Here we go with the next slide. So we're talking about go local as we are in a different country. How many plosive sounds are there in this statement? How many plosive sounds? What do you think?
Maybe 6. I don't know.
6, okay. Anybody else? Do you think more or less? More or less? Or less? Nelson, Valentina, Fernando? Let's take a look in the first word. So, do we have a plosive sound here?
No.
No.
No, okay.
No.
In we're, thank you. We're.
No.
Okay.
No.
In talking, do we have any plosive sounds here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which ones?
T.
T
Two.
T.
and
Okay.
K.
And K. Perfect.
Yeah.
Any other?
G.
No.
No. About.
G.
Sorry. Okay. Let's. If we transcribe this word, I guess we get T. I guess we get a long O, to, and then we don't pronounce the U, right? So we get to K. Talk, right? Talk. And then I guess we have a short E, talking. And then we have this, and this would be the last final sound, right? So we get talking. we don't pronounce the final ing. We don't say ing, right? So all right, alrighty. Talking good. What about about? Perfect. Any other?
T.
Again, good. Going, any other? Anyone
No.
here? No? Anyone in local?
K.
K. Anyone else?
No.
No. You also mentioned we're in the first one. What about in?
No.
No.
Okay. What about different?
Yes. The.
Which ones? D. Okay.
T.
T. Perfect. Any other?
No.
Okay. Country. Anyone here? Any plosive
K.
sound? K.
T.
T. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right?
Yes.
So 9 is your answer.
G and going, no.
Which one?
In the first.
This one. G. G.
Yes.
Is that a plosive sound?
Yes.
Exactly. So there are no 9, but 10 plosive sounds. Exactly. G. G is very similar to K. Both of them are plosive and velar. The first one is voiced. The second one is voiceless, but both of them are velar plosives. Good job. So we have 10. 10 is the answer for how many plosives? Sorry, it's right here. So 10 is the answer for the first question. Second question, which words contain fricative sounds and which fricative sounds? So think about the answer. Meanwhile, I'm erasing this. We're working with question number 2, by the way.
So.
Okay, so would be the obviously, right? So, any other?
As.
Excellent.
Different.
Different.
Which ones? Because there are many consonant sounds here.
F.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other? All right, so you're saying that which words contain fricative sounds, so, as, and different. That's it. And which fricative sounds? Well, we're lucky that the grapheme or letter is similar to the phoneme, right? The same here, and the same here. Sometimes this is not the case, right? Sorry about the handwriting, the finger writing, because I'm writing with the finger. And any other fricative sound that you think it's present here? No? Okay. All right. I think I do agree with your answer. I do agree with your answer. Let's move on to the question number 3. Which approximant sounds are in initial position?
Teacher, what is an approximate sound?
A good question. Anyone has an answer? Okay. Yeah.
And
Come again.
la
Mm-hmm.
J.
Okay. What's a J?
G.
Like this one? G.
No, la J.
La J. Como en Jaime.
Sí.
Okay.
Como en
Now, when you say
No sé.
okay, got it. Yeah, as in you. Okay, good. Yeah, as in you.
Yeah.
Remember, okay, good. Remember when you're using slashes or brackets, we're talking about sounds or phonemes. So we're saying, for example, yeah. In this case, yeah, same thing. But when you're talking about letters, you say, for example, J for this one, J, and G for this one. And these are letters, right? We're talking about letters here, or graphemes. That's the name of the letter G, the name of the letter J, right? Well, here we're talking about sounds. So when you say sound or phonemes, you have to say, for example, as you said, right? Ye, as in you, all right? Do you know any other approximants? Approximant sounds?
W.
Okay, now that's the name of the letter. Give me the name of, give me the sound, the phoneme.
Where? No, I don't know. Where?
Because yes, we have the letter W, and I totally agree with you. That's the letter, right? The name of the letter. But what's the sound? Which should I put here in these two slashes? Anybody? Let me give you some help here. Woo, woo, okay? Woo as in what, where, which, okay? And the other approximant sound is right? As in long or late or lizard, okay? So if we're talking about and another name for these two sounds is liquid. Both of them are liquid sounds, okay? And are called liquid sounds, liquid consonant sounds. And if we're talking about these two, ye as in yes, wu as in what, they are called, they're also called glides, right? Some people also call them semi vowels, because they have some sort of features of vowel, but they are not vowels and they're not fully consonants. So they are not ranging in the middle, right? So when we talk about y as in yes or w as in what, we call them glides or semi-vowels. When we talk about and we call them liquids, right? Liquids. Now, when we're talking about these two groups, the liquids and the glides, we can call them approximants. So when we're talking about approximants, we're talking basically about l, y, w. All of them are approximant sounds. Okay, and they're called approximant because they're not fricative, basically. I mean, if there was more friction, if there were more friction when we were producing these four sounds, we would call them fricatives. But since there isn't enough friction, right, in the mouth, in the oral cavity, that's why they are called approximant. There's some obstruction, but not enough to cause friction in the oral cavity. Okay, so when we talk about approximant or approximant sounds, we're talking about liquids and glides. O, Y, U, basically. So the question is, which approximant sounds are in initial position in this statement?
In the word where?
In the word we're, yes, in the word in the expression we're, okay. Specifically there, right? We get to transcribe this we're, or sometimes it could also be we're with this very short tail here, representing rheticity. We're, right? But if we put them separated, we get we are. Right, sometimes we are, or we are. Yeah, but here they're together. We're. Any other approximate sound in initial position?
In the word local, L.
Perfect. Good job. Any other? Any other approximate sound that you can identify? All right, guys, good job. So we have w in we're twice and l in local. Those are the approximate sounds in initial position, right? And the last question is, how many diphthongs are there? Which diphthongs? Are they centering or closing? What do you think?
I think there are 7.
Okay, 7 diphthongs. Can you like mention them so we can, you know, underline them or identify them?
So,
Mm-hmm.
we're,
Mm-hmm.
about,
Mm-hmm.
going,
Mm-hmm.
local,
All right.
we're again,
Mm-hmm.
and country.
Okay. Do you all agree or disagree? First, the question: how many? How many diphthongs? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 diphthongs. Is that right? No.
Yes, I think.
I agree too.
You agree? Okay.
Yes.
All righty. So I agree with this one. So we have a schwa and a short legs u, ear, right? We have ow. At any moment, please interrupt me or let me or say, you know, I don't agree with you, etc., etc. And we're still friends, right? O, ear. So far, so good.
No,
Yeah.
local, local. La Chua, you know.
Perfect. Local. Thank you for your help. That's what I expect from you. Thank you so much. And I don't agree with this one.
Uh,
Uh-uh.
I'm not sure, but it's country.
Yes.
Control. Yep.
Yes, exactly. Country with a wedge, or also called caret. Yep, country, country. Don't get confused with the spelling, okay? I know we see 2 letters here, but it's country, country, country boy, countryman, country girl. Right? How was that? What do you think about this exercise? Is it good? Is it difficult? Is it boring? Is it none of your business? What do you think? I mean, too complicated?
It's good.
Okay. Now, it's good meaning, okay, I would like to do another exercise about this after the break, or good, thank you, but no thank you.
That will be great, I think.
So my suggestion and proposition and invitation is maybe we can take a 10-minute break now, and then when we're back, maybe we can do another set, this one. 4 questions.
Similar with this? No?
Is that would be it's good for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you,
fine for me.
guys. Good. So I'll see you in about 10 more minutes. Enjoy the break. I will see you around.
9:41. Okay.
Alrighty. You said 9:40.